What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I want to talk about how to get crazy damage out of the champions, how to maximize that damage, and what you need to prioritize on your Nukers in order to bring them to the next level. This is a long overdue video, guys. A lot of you ask me this question a lot of times. What do I need to prioritize on my champions to get crazy damage out of them? So I'm gonna try my best to explain you guys what you need to do and how you need to do it in order to bring your champions to the next level. Now, before we move over to talk about all that, if you guys enjoy the music here in the video, I just want to let you know I partner up with Soundstripe. They have an amazing music library. So if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, definitely head over and check them out. The link will be in the description down below or in the pinned comments. Plus, I can save you 15% on checkout by using code Skratch. Now, there is one thing that everybody needs to understand straight off the bat. There are three different sort of Nukers. We have attack-based Nukers, we have HP-based Nukers, and defense-based Nukers. Attack and defense ones are the most common. There are a few champions that require attack and HP to deal damage, like Mountain King or Rotos, or champions like Fellhound that requires attack and defense, or like Paid Mount, some of their skills. But all around, most of the champions require a specific stat. And you see right here, we have Nogorio is an epic attack champion. The skills right here, damage based on attack, damage based on attack, damage based on attack. So that means that we need to get a lot of attack in order to maximize his damage. The next thing you need to understand is the Savage set is the GOAT, okay? Savage and Lethal will increase your damage by a massive amount. So if you don't have Savage and Cruel just yet, that's fine. You are able to pick those up from the Fire Knight or from the Doom Tower. Or nowadays you can actually purchase Savage sets. The whole idea behind it is what exactly I need to prioritize on my champions when I'm talking about stat Scratch. What can I get on them to make them hit as hard as your champions in the video? So I'm gonna walk you through the entire process on how I'm building my champions and how you should build your champions in order to get the most out of them. I usually go and start with the accessories, okay? So I'm gonna go on the accessories and I'm gonna look. I need an attack banner and an attack ring. So we're gonna look at that. What do I have available? So I might not have tons and tons available. I'm actually only gonna look at the ones that are not equipped yet, just to make it a bit easier for all of you. So we look right here. I have an attack ring, but it has a triple roll on defense. Unfortunately, it's not that great. If it was gonna be triple roll on attack, that would have been perfect, but that's a miss. The next one, not good. This one is decent, 13% attack. Do I have a better one? No attack on this one, unfortunately. We might even sell it. And there we go. We just found the perfect ring. Attack main, and then we have a triple roll on attack. I don't care that I don't have defense percentage. That's not what matters. What we want to get out of this champion is damage, so we gotta give him attack. We're gonna equip that ring. Then we're gonna check the banners. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We have the very first banner, triple roll on attack. Beautiful. Maybe we can find one with a bit of speed. I have this one, 22 speed, and I have 6% attack. Not very good, right? Like, check out the damage difference, you see? 728 or 508. So we're losing 200 attack if I'm going with the one with triple speed. Or I have one with 19 attack, which is a bit worse than the first one. So at the moment, considering the whole situation, I'm gonna wait just to see what sort of boots I can get on him. Do I lack speed or do I lack attack? So what I'm gonna do in the next moment, I'm gonna look for a crit damage amulet. Now what I wanna see on the amulet is as much attack as possible. You see, I have only one roll on attack, 36. So that's definitely not what we need. 58 looks better, but not perfect. Then we have a 54. Do I have a higher one? You see, this one is with triple defense. This would be perfect for a defense-based Nuker. I have all these rare ones here. Let's see, maybe one of them will have a triple attack. Unfortunately, none have that. I have triple defense, but I'm not building a defense Nuker right now. So I'm looking to get a double attack. 58 was the highest. so we're gonna equip that. We're gonna glyph it later on too. The next thing that I do, I'm starting with the bottom pieces. The reason for it is because they are the hardest pieces to get in the game. So you might not have tons and tons available. And the main thing I'm doing, I'm looking for crit damage gloves. So if I'm gonna go on crit damage, we're gonna put that. And I'm looking to have preferably crit rate and attack as a substat in here. First, I'm gonna check the Savage set, see if I have one available from that set. I have a 5-star one. Now, I need to have 4 pieces from the Savage set to fill up the set. I could potentially do a broken set, I could potentially do Cruel and Savage, but unfortunately I don't have a piece from Cruel either. I don't have one from crit damage or from attack, so I might consider in doing a broken set next to the Savage. So we're actually gonna look around and see what pieces we have available that could help our champions a bit more. This one right here looks beautiful. We have defense rolled instead of attack, which is fine. I would prefer to have attack instead. Let's see what else we have available. And we found one right here. We have speed, attack, and crit rate. Unfortunately, only a 5% crit rate. Now we're gonna try to play it around with this. I'm gonna max this at the end. Then we're gonna look for an attack chest piece with crit rate substat. I would prefer to have crit rate and crit damage as well. So we need boots and we need a chest piece. Both of them attack. We want to get as much attack as possible. So if I manage to get a decent speed on my champions, I gotta say it, nowadays the Nukers, they don't need to be so fast as 6 months ago or 1 year ago because of all the reaction that we have in the game. The first place where I'm going to look is the Savage set because I need to have 4 pieces in order to fill up a set. And I have a nice chest piece, speed, crit rate, crit damage. We're gonna use this one right here, so we're gonna equip that. Then we still need the boots. And the problem is I don't have them from a Savage set. I might have to go and pick up a broken piece as well to fill up the gap, you know. If I would do that, then I would be able to go and pick the 3 pieces from the top from the Savage set, which I know for sure I have because it's much easier to get those pieces. And then bang, voila, I would have my set ready. So if we're gonna go right here, we found another chest piece. We found boots from this set, which they look pretty decent actually. Do I have anything better? Speed, crit rate, crit damage. We kind of need to have some speed on the boots. If not, my champion might be a bit too slow, and that's not gonna be too good, you know. And again, we don't seem to find speed, crit rate, and crit damage, unfortunately. Maybe we have some from here. These are triple crit rate, but no crit damage. This is crit rate, crit damage, a 5-star only, but it's only 5 speed. Would that be enough? This one unfortunately has no speed. So we're actually gonna pick some from the bottom. 15 speed and 12 crit rate. Let's see if we find anything a bit better. This one looks a bit better just for the simple fact that we have flat attack too. So that's gonna give us even more damage. We're actually gonna try to use this. So now we've done a broken set next to the Savage. I would personally prefer to use Cruel instead of the broken set on attack champions because that will boost the damage more. I would prefer to use crit damage set on HP and defense next to the Savage just to get higher stats on my champions. But unfortunately, it's not possible for every single champion that I'm building because hey, you're pretty limited with the gear that you're getting. The drop rates are not that amazing. So right now, let me firstly start with the weapon and the helmet. And it's gonna be different for every single champion except the HP Nuker. So for attack-based champions, you can only have attack on helmets and on weapons. You cannot have attack on shields. So what that does mean is that we're gonna wanna prioritize as much crit rate as possible for an attack nuker on the shield and look to get more attack from the weapon and helmet. So if I'm gonna go all the way back to the Savage set right here, seems like I only have one thing that has crit rate, crit damage, and attack available. And we have no speed, we don't have much crit rate on it, so maybe I'm gonna have to drop something else instead in order to make it work. So I'm probably gonna try to drop the crit damage. not the attack. I'm trying to drop the crit damage, and then we're gonna see what we find available. So we have attack, crit rate doesn't look that great. Speed, attack, crit rate looks pretty good. We keep that in mind. Or we have this one. We have 5, 14, 18. And here we have 12, 10, and 17. So it looks very, very similar. This one gives us more attack. This one gives us more crit rate and speed. So we're gonna try to take this first weapon. We can still glyph that attack, but unfortunately we cannot glyph the crit rate, which is very important to keep in mind. Now we're gonna do that, and let's see what helmets we have available. It seems like I don't have a crit rate and an attack one available. So the next thing that I'm gonna wanna prioritize on that is maybe crit damage and attack, since I've already got a lot of crit rate from the weapon and I still have the shield left. Maybe I'm gonna be able to pull her off like this. You see a pretty nice helmet. I still have to get the masteries, so that means that I can get 5% more crit rate from there. So I'm gonna equip this helmet just for the moment. I still need to cover 31 crit rate, okay? That might be a bit of an issue, but we're gonna see once we're gonna find our shield as well. So right now we cannot look for attack anymore on the shield, you know? So the main thing that I'm gonna prioritize right here is having the crit rate. That's the most important thing in order to make my build work. So we are looking for the highest crit rate shield that we have available. So far I see quite a few decent ones with crit damage, but we need to have one with high crit rate. So right here we have 22 and we have crit damage next to it. No speed, which is fine because we're still lacking the banner, and our champion already has 165 speed, and we can literally glyph it on almost every single piece. So we're gonna equip this shield, and we are lacking the masteries, which will leave me short with some crit rate. That will actually leave me short with 4 crit rate. So we gotta cover that as well. Now, the main way in how we can do it right now is by changing the gloves, because we don't have anything available that could give us better stats. So we're gonna go at the gloves. Sorry, I actually misclicked there. We're gonna go at the gloves, and this time around I'm gonna prioritize just raw crit rate. What can I do to make that work? So you see, this gives me 6. This gives me way more than I need. And in order not to mess up everything that I just built in here, guys, I'm slowly gonna look around. I could potentially use this piece and then use another full set on my champion, but I didn't had attack boots from a cruel set. I didn't had them from an attack set. I just had a crit damage set, pair of boots without speed, which I could potentially use, especially if I would want to use the triple speed banner that I have available. But just for the sake of it, we're actually gonna look to get our crit rate up without changing the entire build, you know? This gives me 7, gives me some HP. We're losing attack on it, so I'm definitely not very happy with that. Do we find anything else that has the right things that we need, you know? You see, none of these actually have attack. This one has tons of attack on it, but we're lacking the speed. We're pretty much dropping everything for them, you know? And I'm pretty sure we had something else available right here, if I'm not mistaken. This gave us 6 extra crit rate, and we are keeping some decent amount of attack on it. We're not dropping everything, so we're gonna change it like this. So now we're gonna get the masteries, and we're gonna get even more stats. My champion now is pretty slow, so I'm gonna actually use the triple speed banner for it, and that should kind of like put the champion pretty spot on, I would say. And I think that was right here. Where are you hiding? Attack banner, triple roll on speed. Come on. Was that a legendary one, actually? I can't remember, you see. Was it? Yeah, was a legendary. So we're gonna gain 500 more attack, 22 more speed. And here we are. Total stats, 5.5k attack, 176 speed, 97 crit rate, and we have the crit damage. Now, when we are doing the masteries, I actually haven't purchased the masteries for him, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm actually gonna simulate the whole thing for you guys right here on raidbro.com masteries. So I'm gonna do it here for you. Just imagine that is the same thing. we're gonna gain 5% more crit rate, we're gonna gain 10% more crit damage, and then I just wanna get as much damage as possible from this champion. So we're gonna go with this, increases damage inflicted by 5 when attacking with full HP. So if we're taking the turn first, we're gonna do that. We're gonna gain more speed for killing enemies. We're gonna get 8% more damage on the very first hit on each enemy. And then I have a couple of different options. Either I get Cycle of Violence and I get Wrath of the Slain. This can help you in some cases. I prefer to get Cycle of Violence on champions that farm campaign, mainly because this is helping them to do it a bit faster. I prefer to maximize my damage on the other champions and don't rely on a 30% chance and go with Wrath of the Slain and bring it down and increase my damage by 6% when attacking targets with higher max HP, which most of the times in Arena is gonna be 95% of the times, because you're only gonna have the enemy nuker that might have less HP than yours, and it's not happening very often. Then I'm gonna go on Kill Streak. This will increase my damage as well. The more kills I get, the better. I'm gonna get Helm Smasher, and then I'm gonna think, do I use this champion in defense or I use this champion in offense? Now, if I use him in defense, I would potentially go in the next way. So I'm gonna get Defiant just to be able to go to Improve Pariah. I'm gonna go to Bloodthirst. I'm gonna move all the way to either Delay That, either you can get Stubbornness, but this is not really gonna benefit your champion whatsoever. So Delay That might give you a little bit of edge. And then I'm gonna get Retribution. So my next question is, do I use the champion in a defense? A lot of people will use crowd control champions against my team. Then I might want to take Deterrence. I have a chance to counterattack whenever a Kaimar or a different champion will land a CC debuff, and it might not land on this champion, and then I get to counterattack and maybe kill their champion with the A1 if I hit hard enough. Maybe my champion hits extremely hard with the A1, and then I want to take Methodical as well, you know, just to maximize the damage more. So we've done the masteries. We got all the extra damage. We got Helm Smasher to ignore 25% more defense, but it's only a 50% chance. And we got the 10 extra crit damage and 5 crit rate. So now let's just imagine that I have them on my champion, and the total stats would be 100 to crit rate and 250 crit damage plus 25% ignore defense from Helm Smasher whenever that procs. And we're getting a lot of extra damage from masteries. That would be my build completed for a attack-based nuker. The next one would be an HP-based nuker. So in this case, for a Magnar or another HP nuker, you can get HP on everything. Shield, helmet, you can get it on the weapon. So you don't really have to prioritize more crit rate on the shield, just as an idea. The substats that you want to prioritize on this champion, starting with the weapon, you're going to want to have crit rate, crit damage, HP, speed. Not attack, not defense. Same with the helmet. We want to have crit damage. Unfortunately, that attack is there. I wish that was going to be crit damage instead, but hey, we can't have them all the time. The shield as well, you see, HP, crit damage, crit rate, speed. I wish the flat HP was going to be an HP percentage, but unfortunately it's not. Crit damage gloves, no HP percentage on it. These are actually much better on a defense-based nuker, but that's what I had available to make Magnar work. HP chest piece, crit rate, crit damage if possible. Again, this is not perfect either for him. On the other hand, we have HP boots. So we have speed, crit rate, accuracy, and crit damage. The perfect ones would be, instead of the accuracy, to have flat HP. That will boost his stats even more. We can glyph it, so the more HP and crit damage, the more damage we're gonna deal. The main thing you wanna prioritize is having the full crit rate, guys. Then look at the HP and crit damage. I have an HP ring. You see, I try to have as much HP percentage on it as possible. I have a crit damage amulet with as much HP on it as possible. And then, of course, we have an HP banner with as much HP on it as possible. In terms of masteries, very similar with what we got on the other champion. The only difference is that we are kind of like planning to maybe use this champion slightly different. Because this is an HP based nuker, getting Bring It Down won't really benefit us because we already have almost 100k HP, and most of the champions that we're attacking, most probably they won't have as much HP. A Duchess will have, an Ursagan accurate, yeah, but most of them won't, you know? So I feel like getting Cycle of Violence will actually benefit the champion even more. The reason why we have Stoke to Fury is if he gets debuffed, if we're gonna use him with, I don't know, a Gerbtug for example, we're gonna get more damage from here too. So I went with the support, we're getting more HP. Counter-attacking on him won't occur as often because an Arbiter or a Siphi or a Duchess won't hit Magnar for 25% of his max HP, you know. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. Now, let's talk about a defense-based nuker as an idea. So let me quickly show you one of those two. We have no one else but, where is he? Solus. So he's a defense-based nuker. The perfect thing on him would be to have a Savage set and a crit damage set next to it. Unfortunately, my crit damage set is just not gonna give me my stats how I want. I might miss 2% crit rate because of it, and I just don't want that to happen. Even though I would gain 20 plus more crit damage, I don't want to be on 98 crit rate. So instead, I went with an Immortal set. So this is the weapon. The main thing you want to prioritize on here is as much crit rate or crit damage as possible, because the attack will not benefit Solus by any means. So if you have a better weapon than I have, scrap the attack completely. Again, the helmet, you want to have crit rate, defense, and crit damage. That's how you're going to be able to boost more damage on him. The shield, again, try to have defense percentage. I don't think I actually do on mine because I just didn't manage to get my crit rate in order, unfortunately. That's why it's so frustrating, not just for me, I feel like for a lot of people, not to have crit rate glyphs, even if they're only one star or 2 stars, you know. A lot of times you're rolling your gear and instead of rolling a 21 crit rate, it rolls you a 20 or a 19, and that completely messes up your entire mojo. I have crit damage gloves, as much defense as possible because I already focused a lot of crit rate from the other pieces, so I have a 23% defense percentage on it. Accuracy is very important for Solus, so having some accuracy here and there is actually very beneficial. So I don't really see anything else that would help me more than this piece of glove. HP, attack, or resistance won't help my champion. Accuracy should be the last thing that you kind of like try to prioritize if you are able to, but it's not a priority. Defense chest piece, crit rate, crit damage, you see, it has attack. That attack would have been nice, and as accuracy, that flat defense, I actually don't mind it because I get to get 56 more defense, more damage. Defense boots, we have speed, crit rate, crit damage. That resistance would have been amazing as accuracy. Of course, we have a defense ring with the triple roll on defense. That's what gives us the damage. We have crit damage amulet with double roll on defense, and then we have some accuracy as well. That's kind of like what I would prioritize for him. Defense, accuracy, or if I get a nice crit damage amulet with quad accuracy, I wouldn't say no to it, you know. And of course, we have a defense-based banner. I only have 1 roll on defense, but I have triple on speed, and that kind of like brings the champion up to a decent amount of speed. Maybe for these days, nowadays is a bit too fast, but hey, I'm not really using Solus that much during arena reset, so it's more than fine. In terms of masteries, they are pretty similar actually, so we have offense and support 3. You see, I have accuracy on him. I want to get more accuracy. That will help my champion to land his debuffs every now and then, so it's very, very important. I have Cycle of Magic, will have a 5% chance every now and then to allow me to use one of the active skills, which is pretty good. If I would have a crit damage set, I would consider to get Lord of Steel maybe to increase the crit damage a bit more. Tier 6 Helm Smasher. The rest are very, very similar with what we had on the attack-based nukers. But that's how you build champions. That's how you get the most out of them, guys. Of course, the Great Hall matters. Having the books matters because a lot of champions deal more damage based on the books. So having them booked gives you a massive boost. Increasing their attack with a champion like Arbiter, increasing their defense with a champion like Sifi, respectively to each one of the Nukers, and that would give more damage as well. That was all for this video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what sort of Nukers are you guys using the most, which ones are your favorite. But that was all for today, guys. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.